galaxy. And
all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and let's get right into this lesson.
this new telescope is a galaxy. And this is a new object. This is a star. This is a galaxy. And this is a new object discovered by the Rubin Observatory's Space and Time mission. Here's another new object. And here's another. This new telescope was made to scan the sky, and within the first 10 hours of it being on, it discovered 2,000 new objects all moving in a swarm formation. Have you seen this video? This is the actual footage from the telescope. Look at all of these different objects. Tell me, are these just asteroids, just comets? Look how they're moving. So first we get 3i Atlas, then we get Swan R2, and now they turn on this telescope and they see a literal swarm surrounding Earth. Here, as you can see, they back the camera up and you can see it's literally a swarm headed towards Earth. They literally turned this thing on for like 10 hours. And in a 10-hour period, they saw over 2,000 objects flying in a swarm, looking like they have intelligence to it. And everybody's wondering why all the governments and the militaries and everybody's coming together, having all these secret meetings and surprise meetings. And none of this is on the news. None of this is on the news. None of this Atlas, Swan, Lemon, none of it's on the news. And it's like, this is major news. Why is it on the news? And if you're wondering how they did this, this new telescope takes a video of the night sky every couple of days. And over a 10-year period, it will make a complete video of the entire universe. This is called a Space and Time Project, and this is the telescope that they're going to use to do it. So yes, this video is real, and as you can see, they found over 2,000 objects swarming in just the first 10 hours. You already know what I think. The kingdom is coming back. Let's be real. What is that? Are we being invaded? This is a star.
So as you can see, the Earth is being visited, right? Slovakia. The Earth is being visited, and it looks like the way these objects are moving in the sky, or what Esau likes to call space, is they don't look to move like they're moving like asteroids. They move to look like they're moving as though they're UFOs, or what we call them according to the Bible, chariots. So let's get out of scripture right here. It says in Psalms chapter 68, verse 17, the chariots of Yahweh are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place, right? So right now, the earth is being scoped out, and Esau is being surrounded to be ultimately destroyed. Let's get out 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 17. And Elisha prayed, open his eyes, Lord, so that he may see. Then the Lord opened the servant's eyes, and he looked and saw the hills full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. Right. At verse 18, as the enemy came down toward him, Elisha prayed to the Lord, strike this enemy with blindness. So he struck them with blindness, as Elijah had asked. Verse 19, Elijah told them, this is not the road, this is not the city, follow me, I will lead you to the man you're looking for, and he led them to Samaria. Right. And it says, they entered the city. Elijah said, Lord, open the eyes of these men so they could see. Then the Lord opened their eyes, and they looked, and there they were inside Samaria. Right. So not only did Yahweh show Elisha the chariots, but we also see an example of spiritual power, right? For we know that in the days coming, the Lord shall lift up a standard, right? It says, Isaiah chapter 59, verse 19, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. And what's a standard that's going to be lifted up against Esau? Well, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, giving his elect, those that fear him, spiritual power, right? So we may, it says, according to what Yahweh Shai said, let's get this out. It says, John chapter 14, verse 12, verily, verily, I say unto you, He that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these, shall he do, because I go unto my Father. Right? So you gotta understand, what happens is Esau's kingdom is already getting destroyed. But before Esau's kingdom is going to get destroyed, Esau needs to be like a madman sparing none. Right? So Esau is going to be getting down his FEMA camps. He's going to be getting down his martial law, as we see in Memphis, Tennessee. You already have the troops. I believe right now, I'm not sure if the National Guard is there yet, but the National Guard's supposed to be there by the end of September, according to what I've heard, right? And we've seen some videos that you had an Edomite mayor, I believe, basically want to make war against Jake, right? So we know that not only will this affect Jake, this is going to affect America in general, the people in America, because martial law won't just target people who look like the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, but martial law will eventually target people who are not with the authoritarian government that Esau is bringing, right? So think about it this way: what can we do, right, as Israelites against guns that the military has? What can we do against tanks? What can we do against missiles? What can we do against people that have bulletproof armor, right? And robot dogs, right? As the blessing goes, according to Jacob, our blessing is not the sword. So Esau has perfected his craft and is moving in his blessing with the sword, right? So since we don't have an army, we don't have guns, and those of us that do, they're like squirt guns compared to the big guns Esau will bring out, right? Well, guess what? There is only one way for us to be delivered, and it's by Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, lifting up a standard for us. And that may be through spiritual power, right? Or other so-called unexplained events. As with, I believe when Peter was in jail, there was an earthquake that struck, and he was let out of jail, right? So expect these things to come when things start getting dire, especially in Jacob's trouble, brethren, right? When the military starts kicking down your doors, some of us are going to be put to death, right? Some of us are going to witness that standard that the Lord will do for us through spiritual power. So we may smite the Gerber troops and the martial law troops, or whatever you name it, with blindness, like Elijah did, of course, through the power of Yahweh. Or we may be able to be like Superman, and just like in Brightburn, just rip through them like they're nothing, like a tic-tac going through a helium balloon. Or there may be times where we may be in FEMA camps, brethren, and Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai may just send a tornado that lets us out the FEMA camps. Alright? So, and we know that at the end of all this stuff, at the end of Jacob's trouble, that Yahweh, through his son Yahweh Shai, the chariots will come, right, and bring us into the chariots, so that America would be destroyed by the nuclear missiles. So this is very exciting, brethren. Of course, according to the video, it doesn't look like asteroids. Asteroids don't move like that. Stars don't move like that. So the only explanation I have is they have to be chariots, right? So all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and Shalom.